Hello, Uye Ubertes. I am Mr. Maddox, and today we'll be doing a game review of Train Valley. Now, before I get into the review, here's the basics of how the review will work. There are normally 10 categories that I use when reviewing a game. Those 10 categories are fun, creativity, challenge, graphics, music, cinematics, story, content, controls, gameplay. Now, each category will be rated 1 through 10 with the maximum score out of 100. So let's get started on this review. Train Valley is an indie simulation strategy game published by Flasm and developed by Alexei Davidov, Sergei Voinikov, and Timofey Shargorodsky. Hopefully I've kind of said their names correctly, but I believe it's kind of close. The game was released on September 16th of 2015. With Train Valley, you must build tracks in order to connect cities, tunnels, and bridges while staying accident-free by precisely controlling the trains during the crucial moments. Further, you must also manage increasing traffic by constructing multiple aspects including circles, figure eights, crossroads, and switches in order to keep trains running without delays. In this game, there are 4 seasonal eras, including Europe from 1830 to 1980, America from 1840 to 1960, the USSR from 1880 to 1980, and finally Japan from 1900 to 2020. In Train Valley, you'll be following the story mode, which features the gold rush of 1849, the construction of the Florida Overseas Railroad, World War II, the Cold War, as well as the launch of the first manned space flight of Vostok 1. There are also 3 different modes in Train Valley, which includes a story mode, a random mode in which the level looks and develops differently every time you launch, and a sandbox style in which you play either story or random modes without time and financial limits. Lastly, discover 15 types of trains from early steam-powered locomotives to high-speed trains that drive 18 types of cars ranging from classic passenger cars to military tank and gun platform cars. With all that being said, let's get to the categories. Category 1, Fun. After playing about 40 minutes of the game, I have found that the game is actually quite entertaining to me. Now, while I'm not normally a puzzle gamer, this game did catch my eye as I do have an interest in trains in general. Now, that being said, as I've played the game, I instantly got addicted to it and time went by pretty fast for me. So with that note, I'm going to give this category a rating of 10 out of 10. Category 2, Creativity. In this category, my perspective is that mostly for train-based games, I've normally found simulation and strategy games without a puzzle element. Now, while I'm sure that there are other puzzle genre games out there, this is the only one that I have come across in these early days of my gaming channel, and I'm sure that I'll be finding more out there. So that being said, I like the difference in this game compared to other genres that I have come across and have decided to rate this category a 10 out of 10. Category 3, Challenge. In the beginning of the game, as to be expected, there was no challenge at all. Now, at first I thought the challenge aspect wasn't going to really build up, but by the 4th level, I found that I had lied to myself. Things got quite interesting, in fact, and now I only made it to the first 5 levels, and before I started becoming flustered, I ended up giving up. I, however, really wanted to continue this game while editing this review video, and I still have a lot of interest in it. So that being said, I'm rating this category with a 10 out of 10. Category 4, Graphics. The graphics in this game seem to me to be a bit childlike, cartoonish. But in all honesty, I also feel that being a family-friendly game, it was meant to be done in this fashion. My frame rates while both generally playing and recording this video stayed steady between 29 and 30 frames per second for me, while utilizing an MSI R7 250 2GB PCI video card with the resolution set at 1920 by 1080, with the full screen option ticked and quality settings put at recommended, which I believe were at the highest quality settings. It was easy enough to see everything with my vision problems that I personally have, and the textures were quite decent for the style given. I'm giving this category a rating of 10 out of 10. Category 5, Audio. There's really not much to be said about the music in the game other than it seems to be a one looped track that I've played. If the music changes in the game, I've not been made aware of it during the creation of this review video. Now, that being said, the music seems to be slightly upbeat and wasn't overtaxing on my ears, however. I do tire of the same thing on a constant basis when it comes to instrumental music. I prefer variety and would have liked to seen more tracks during my gameplay. The sound effects, however, were lovely, and I was able to distinguish what I was listening to based on the effects of the actions taken. The sound effects is basically what is saving this category, and I've decided that I'm giving this category a rating of 6 out of 10. Category 6, Cinematics. The only cinematics that I've experienced is at the beginning of the game and between the levels where the portfolio book opens and the levels get stamped. Now, while a lot of others would not call it cinematics but more along the lines of animations which would end up in graphics, I felt as if putting it here would be the best choice for this particular game. That being said, I felt as if they could have used a bit of work by actually making the animations into a more lively cinematic by adding an arm coming from the screen and a hand that actually opens the portfolio. I would have also liked to have seen some sort of cutscenes, either animated or filmed, to help fit the storyline within this game. So with that, I'm going to rate this category at 5 out of 10. Category 7, Story. While there is a story mode to the game, I've really not actually witnessed anything in the story, but based on several reviews I've read, including those from Steam users and well-known reviewers, the story is pretty good. I didn't have the time to fully delve into the story itself, but based on many reviews, both positive and negative, I've went ahead and decided to go ahead and rate this category an 8 out of 10. Category 8, Content. With 15 different trains and 18 different cars, I was quite happy in the beginning with what was available. While I didn't get to witness all of the trains or cars personally during my short playtime, I was quite happy with the level's release of train types based on the level and the time, and am quite positive that as the story unfolds, any player will love experiencing each type. I would also love to see future releases of content with more cars and engines and maybe even some sort of expansion pack or update that allows more freedom. I would even like to see turntables and signals added to the game to give a bit more realism in stopping or turning the train around. Maybe even giving an option to choose an engine type when selecting an early train. But all in all, I'm satisfied with what is available now, and I'm giving this category a rating an 8 out of 10. Category 9, Controls. First, let me just say that I love the controls in this game. And one of the things I like most is that you can map the controls to your liking. Control mappings are switch mode, build mode, demolish mode, scheduling additional trains, pausing, speed settings, and even the menu. You also have the capability of inverting the zoom functionality as well as adjusting the scroll speeds to your liking. The mouse movements are very fluid, and I was able to hit switches with ease as well as getting the trains to stop and reverse with great ease. With all the games I've played, I never could stand having to put the mouse in a very small precise locations in order to toggle something, and that includes train as well as aviation-based simulators. I was quite pleased with how well the controls were made, and I'm giving this category a rating of 10 out of 10. Category 10, Gameplay. The gameplay itself was quite easy to understand from the beginning, and the small video tutorials that popped up were a huge help. For being someone who's easily distracted, I was able to keep focused while playing lest I wrecked everything and destroyed the world. I also love the fact that if you didn't acknowledge a train within a certain time frame, they would depart anyhow, and if you aren't paying a lick of attention, there's no telling where that train could end up. As the cities grew, I was fascinated by each building popping up, and as each train arrived, the city seemed like it would actually grow even larger. Now, as the game continued and I progressed the levels, I became more and more interested in the game. Therefore, I'm giving this category a rating of 10 out of 10. Overall rating. So when all is said and done, I'm giving Train Valley an overall rating of 87 out of 100. I was quite pleased with everything and looking forward to playing this game a lot in the future as a wonderful way to either pass time or test my logic when I'm feeling quite illogical. You can find Train Valley online at the Steam store or at the Humble store for around $10 USD. The game is listed in 9 different languages, which are English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Czech, Polish, Portuguese Brazil, and Russian. The Steam version of Train Valley also includes 29 Steam-based achievements. At the time of this recording, the Steam version of the game has had a very positive user review based on over 148 reviews. If you're looking into the Steam version and love the style of gaming, then I recommend getting it. There is a demo version, however, so if you're still unsure on whether to get this game, get the demonstration game first. Give it a little play, and then decide for yourself. Alright folks, now I want to thank you for watching this gaming review of Train Valley, and I hope the review you've just watched helped you in deciding on whether or not to purchase this game. Again, I'm Mr. Maddox, and please do not forget to share your thoughts about this game in the comment section below. And if you like this review and would like to see more, hit that like button. And if you can't stand my reviews or yourself, hit the dislike button. And please don't forget to subscribe to see my future gameplays and game reviews. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a pleasant day.